Hi, and welcome to the third part of The Cursed Bracelet and Other Short Stories by Sharon Bertoli. The story that I'm going to be reading today is The Hanging Tree, and as I said, it's the third one out of 7. So I'm looking forward to reading this one because I really like this one. It's quite fun to write, this was. I am going to warn you now that I am reading from my laptop, and I'm struggling with the mouse at the moment, so forgive me if I pause a little bit or a little bit longer than should be, but that's just down to the fact that I'm not getting on with my mouse at the moment, and the other mouse doesn't want to work at all, so I'm like, oh, really? And the reason why I'm using my laptop is because my book's actually with the editor, so she's off editing away. Hopefully she likes them. Let's hope, fingers crossed. So thank you, Kaylee. I'd also like to thank Emma. I will try very hard to make my suggestions at the end of this short excerpt from the book, and let's hope that I can do all of that in one go. I'm also going to apologise for my hair looking like I've been hit by an electric socket this morning. It just doesn't want to do what it's supposed to do, so I've left it. It's like, fine, do whatever you wish. I'm done with that. So without further ado, even the parrot's being quiet, I'm going to get on with this story. So, The Hanging Tree. I hope you're ready for this because I love this story. Crunch! The twig snapped under her feet as she headed towards the hanging tree. Should she go through with the ritual? Did humanity really deserve Mother Nature's wrath? Could there be forgiveness? She hesitated a moment longer, looking at the full moon. It was the perfect night. She was a tall lady, slim, with long dark flowing hair adorned with a circlet of daisies, dandelions and daffodils, freshly made that morning, her white gauzy gown flowing in the gentle breeze around her bare ankles, flashes of her white feet as she lifted them rhythmically, quickening her pace towards her destination. Determination sets in. She will free the earth from the scourge of society if it's the last thing she does. As she reaches the tree, she pulls out her willow wand and sketched a large pentagram into a large circle. Back and forth she went, making the star. Then she went to the bag she had left there earlier and pulled out the candles she had brought with her, black for this occasion, as she was using white magic for dark purposes. She placed them in the middle of the pentagram and lit it. A hush fell over the small wooded area surrounding as she closed her eyes, tilted her head towards the moon, outstretched her hands upwards, wand in one, burning sage in the other, and began to chant, starting softly, building up to a crescendo. I call upon the ancestors three, I call upon the witches of the hanging tree. The world is dark and full of fears, there's no remorse, there is no tears. I call upon the moon above, show them no mercy, show them no love, for they have sanctified this infernal rot, they have added everything to their pot. Greed, malice, fear and hate, destruction, pollution, at a fast rate, raping, pillaging, abuse I see. O moon goddess, set them free. Send them your wrath to cleanse the earth, make them suffer for their worth. Send them boils, warts and all, release the plague, so they wilt and fall. Mother Moon and Mother Earth combine, let loose your plague, show them who is divine. Send it fast, as quick as a fox, on the eve of this spring equinox. Then softly she uttered the last line of her magic, almost so only the wind could hear her. Rebirth, renew, cleanse this plain. Do not let my prayers go in vain. Thank you, Moon Goddess, for listening to me. Send the plague and set us free. Lenora slumped on the floor, her face glistening with tears and sweat, her cheeks no longer white but rosy with the colour of her eyes glistening from the fever of dance and singing. As they slowly got up, walked the tree, she put her hand to the cool bark and murmured her thanks to her ancestors. Today was going to be the start of a new beginning. The door opened. In came a figure. He, or maybe a she, was tall. They looked so dark as I came near the bed. The fear built up inside of me as the shadow came closer. As the shadow moved into the lamplight, I could see a bird's skull. My head could not understand. White bones, black eye sockets that seemed to gaze into my very soul, and a beak long and sharp. This thing was going to eat me. I tried to struggle, but it was useless. My body felt heavy, hot, and hurt in so many places. The thing came closer. It didn't have wings or feathers. It had some kind of fabric on his arms as he reached for me. I tried to pull away. I couldn't. I cried out with fear as this black hand grabbed my wrist and turned it over. All that came out of my mouth was a whimper. My mouth was so dry. My lips were cracked and swollen. His hand felt leathery, cold but not sharp. Did birds not have claws? Why couldn't I feel his claws? He drew his beak closer to my wrist. I was going to die. I knew it. This thing was going to eat me. I could smell summer flowers, lavender, honeysuckle, jasmine. Why could I smell flowers? Wasn't it just the beginning of spring? My head felt heavy. My face was hot. My body ached for rest. I couldn't keep my eyes open a moment longer. I closed my eyes as the world slowly turned black. The thing rummaged around under his black heavy apron for a handkerchief. He reached up and wiped his thick glass goggles and readjusted them on his head. This was definitely the plague. The poor lad had no chance. He looked down. His skin was clammy and shining with fever. His eyes were sunk so deep they were almost non-existent. His hair was stuck to his head, damp and limp like his broken body. Around his mouth was dried blood, crusted at the corners and stained with sputum along with the bedclothes. The arm that he held was covered in nasty purple-black spots. Who could have sent such a thing? This was most definitely witchcraft. We need to find the witch. He turned on his heels and walked out the door, leaving it open so the cool night air would rush in as he walked out into the streets towards the mayor house. She must be found. Burn the witch. Find the sorceress. Kill the fiend. Rid us from this spell. The chants were getting closer and closer to Lenora's house. She had been found. She sat at the table and poured herself another cup of nettle tea. There was no way out. She sat calmly, awaiting the fate of her ancestors. They didn't even knock on the door. They barged in, grabbing her from her chair. Witch! 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 They chanted, knocking over her table as they pulled her by her hair towards the door. The teapot shattered into a myriad of pieces as it fell. The sound of crackling came from behind her as they shoved her out of the door and lashed her wrists together and set fire to her home. Burn the house! Burn the witch! Someone shouted. I see her at the hanging tree the other night. She was all in black killing a goat, she was, shouted another. We've got her, said the mayor. Now you will be judged. He turned to the angry crowd. Silence, good people. Silence, I say. We shall try her now, but we will do so at the tree from where her crimes took place. The crowd erupted with gleeful cries as the mayor started to drag Lenora by the hair towards the forest with a procession of people holding torches, pitchforks and anything else they could get their hands on. Lenora Smith, he paused as he waited for the crowd to quieten. Did you, or did you not, set this plague amongst our people? Laura did not answer. I ask you again, did you send the plague girl? Still, Lenora did not answer. Burn her anyway. The devil has her tongue, someone shouted. Has the devil got your tongue, girl? He asked again. Still, Lenora did not answer. It has. The devil is in her. What shall we do with her? Shouted an old lady who threw a stone at her. Let us cast her into fire. Be silent, hag. Fire won't work. It's starting to rain. Hang her like the witches before her. We're at the hanging tree anyway, shouted another. Do we have rope? Said the mayor to the man on his right. No, sir, but I'll go get some. And off he went in the direction of town. I'll bring the horse as well, he shouted back. Is there anything you wish to say, witch? Said the mayor. Still, Lenora said nothing. Now you understand why I really like this story. It's such full of drama and it's just so much fun to write. I really, really enjoyed writing this one. So if you want to read the rest of it, you're just going to have to wait a little bit longer till the book's on release, which, as I said, as soon as I know when it is, you guys will have that link so you can go and buy it and read them all and judge for yourself. So if you have any comments, please feel free to add them, because I would love to have your feedback. You know, as a writer, it's very good to have that input from other people, because it means that I'm either doing it really, really well or I'm doing something really, really wrong. So for me, it's a growth. You know, I can grow from that and I can progress from that. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. So leave your comments, follow me, if, you know, that'd be fabulous. I am on TikTok, I'm on Twitter, I'm on Instagram, I'm on Facebook. I think I'm everywhere. So, you know, feel free to add me. And I look forward to the next instalment, which is, actually, to be fair, I'm not sure what the next one is. Let me have a quick look. It's the only problem when it's a computer you're not still getting used to, is you can't always don't always know where it is. Right. Right, there we go. Give me 2 seconds and I will tell you exactly what it is. The next story, or maybe not. Okay. Right. Okie dokie, so let me go there. So the next story should be, I believe, it's Monte Carlo, which is another interesting story, quite a funny story actually, Monte Carlo. So Monte Carlo will be next week's story. I hope you enjoyed it, and goodbye for now.